Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about whether it is better to buy a business or build a business. Yes, that's correct. Awesome news. I was able to get improved internet. So now my streams are going to be more awesome because I no longer have to worry about lag or downgraded signal. So you should be seeing me in all my glory, if you will. I hope more people will attend live because that's really what the intent is for, but I totally get it. Sometimes you can only watch things on the replay. I hope you're all having a great day. And so if you're new here, my name is Taylor Darcy from Think Legal, where I help you create the business of your dreams. So welcome. I'm excited that you're here, that you're watching my video on my little slice of YouTube. Thank you for taking time out of your day. I sincerely appreciate it. So let's get started. All right, welcome back. Buying a business versus starting a business can mean a lot of things. And so you want to go into this with your eyes open and willing to listen, because the reality is buying a business might be a better fit for you than starting a business from scratch. But it really depends on who you are, what your goals are, and whether it makes sense to buy a business as opposed to starting a business. Number one, or rather I should say, and these are some of the ideas that you're going to need to think about when you're buying a business or when you're starting a business. Number one, both of them carry risks. With a startup, it's risky because it hasn't been done before, or if it has been done, they're far enough ahead of you that it's difficult for you to get a stronghold into the market share that you're looking to get. Keep that in mind that for a startup, if it's a new type of company, or rather if it's a new type of product that you're offering, is there a market for it? And that's probably one of the biggest reasons why most of them fail, that people don't do enough market research before they start. They have a great idea, and I'm not suggesting the idea is bad, but if there's no market for it, it doesn't matter how good the idea is. It's just not going to fly. It's not going to go anywhere. Now, in some instances, you can be first to the market because it's an unthought of idea. But, I think about Apple with the iPhone against BlackBerry, right? Steve Jobs did not start out as a new phone. The iPhone was not a new phone. It's not something new in the respect that there have been phones before. They hadn't been done the same way as he had been done before them. They were based on physical. You had to buy a new phone every time instead of getting upgrades via software. So he was altering things a bit. He wasn't starting something completely new. And the same thing went for the computer that he did back when Apple first started. Apple, it wasn't, the computer idea was not new. It was his version of it. So if your idea is truly new, that's great. If you're the Thomas Edison, he even fought with people. But my point is, if your idea is truly new, you really have to do extensive market research to find out if it has the market support that you'll need in order to be successful. If there's no market for it, then you're going to go out of business. And that's one of the risks that you face as a startup company. Is there a need for it? Is there a want for it? Is there a market for it, essentially? Versus if you're buying a business, and this is one of those things, if a business is being bought, there's already a market for it. It's already past that phase. They've already established themselves in the market. So buying a business can make a ton of sense in that respect. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about these things regarding buying or building a business. Startups, they are known to fail at approximately 90 to 95%. Now, that doesn't mean that you absolutely will fail. Please don't misunderstand this. It's just very hard to go from zero to successful. It is. And speaking as an entrepreneur myself, I can attest to this. It is very challenging to get that toehold into success. So I don't want you to feel like that you can't do it, but just know what you're getting yourself into, because the challenges that you face can be substantial. The next thing is, existing companies have a established infrastructure. So you're starting instead of starting at zero, you're starting at, building level 15 or 20 or 30 or wherever that business is at already. And so you're not having to kind of make stuff as you go along. And that's a lot of what entrepreneurs do. The best thing also, or one of the things about that is the infrastructure, is that your cash flow is already established. So you can get to be profitable very quickly, even if you take out a bank loan to get the business started or continue the business. So you take out a bank loan in order to purchase the business. The bank loan is between you and the business and the bank, and then you're buying the other party out. The other owner out. You can't really do that with a startup. In fact, most startups can't get funding, debt funding, or any funding for that matter, in the beginning. In fact, it's very rare that any company gets real startup capital for the first 2 to 5 years because of the substantial risk that's involved with the startup. Investors and bankers know this. They know that a lot of them are going to fail. So they don't want to invest that time or money into that business because it's all about them, not you. As you've heard in some of my other business purchasing and capital videos, when you're talking about investors or bank, it's always about what's in it for them, not what's good for you. Isn't it? That's just how it is. It's what's good for them because they're loaning your money. They're giving you money. They're, equity holders. That's why bootstrapping and finding, private equity investors can make a ton of sense in that category, because you're saving yourself they are aware of the risks that are required in those instances. The next and last, and this kind of, I was already talking about it, is it's easier to get a bank loan with an established business for those reasons that I already mentioned, because you're already an established business. You already have cash flow. They know that they can get their money back. So your risk factor diminishes greatly. You will have a lot easier time getting a bank loan based on the assets and cash flow of the business than you will trying to do it without. And that's just a reality. The real question is, what's right for you? What's better for you? It depends on your goals. There's such a great opportunity to take a old business and, dust it off and make it new and improve systems and, bring in different ideas that, continuing with an existing business makes a lot of sense. However, if, starting a business has been your dream and you're really good at it and you've done it before and it's a non-issue as far as you've got the working capital, you're not risking the same things, then by all means, if you've never started a business before, maybe buying a business is a better idea for you. It really depends on what you're hoping for, goals, if there's products that you want to sell or do, or if you just don't want to deal with that beginning phase. Those are also considerations that you need to make when you're deciding and designing what your dream business is going to be. Because in the end, if you don't plan, the old saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And I think that's a lot of problem with a lot of entrepreneurs, is they're great at being entrepreneurs, but they're terrible at planning. In fact, most of them are. Most of the ones that and I'm not judging. I'm simply telling you that that's been my experience. The ones that are really successful are the ones that are planning. And sometimes, unfortunately, it takes a few failures to get to where you realize, oh, I really do need to plan better. I need to take a look at my money and my cash flow and just all my capital and make sure that I'm doing it right, because at the end of the day, if you don't, you could go out of business. And it takes a few failures to really get your head screwed on straight at fixing what failed. And you can skip that whole process if you buy a business. If you've gotten value out of this video, don't forget to hit subscribe and like. Hit that bell icon to notify of when I go live, because I do go live every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Unless, like yesterday, I was getting my network upgraded and I couldn't go live because there was all sorts of busy stuff happening that I couldn't get on to go live. So nonetheless, please like this, subscribe this. I look forward to leave comments below. What are your thoughts? buying a business or building a business? Which one would you prefer? I would happy to know that and learn, and I look forward to seeing you later. Talk to you later. Bye.